Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Joining us in a bit on sign language, Elizabeth Nakakoni. Let's get into it. President Rhoda Ngonzi has given out 2 tractors, disc harrows and plows to teachers and health workers in Adjumani district. The agricultural machinery was delivered by the State House Controller, Ms. Jen Bareche, at a function held at Biyaya Playground. President Museveni has always emphasized commercial agriculture and value addition as one of the avenues for Ugandans to stabilize their household incomes and create wealth for prosperity.
Tractor to the teachers and 1 tractor to the healthy workers. So feel at home, be happy, know that you're selected among the biggest number of population of Uganda. He told me the theme for today is celebrating independence in Uganda. Tell my leaders to guide the rest of the population. God gave you a chance to be a leader because of a purpose. Tell these leaders to guide them, to guide the rest of the population to come out of poverty, to be economically independent. Because if you're not economically independent, there is no reason why you should celebrate independence. Using that theme, he therefore sent these tractors for you to do what? For you to commercialize your agriculture. He knows that teachers don't have time. They are always on chalkboards teaching the population. But still they want also to come out of poverty. Then he says, okay, take this tractor to them. So please, as the Honorable Member of Parliament says, don't concentrate on fighting for these tractors. Concentrate that knowledge on how you can use these tractors commercially or profitable, so that next time when he comes around, you tell him, Your Excellency, he gave us these tractors, this is what we have been able to do. Now we want other things or other tractors. I am very sure I shall not refuse. So if you know you love the president, please fight poverty, because he doesn't like people who are poor. Fight poverty so that you are able to enjoy yourself, your families are able to enjoy his leadership, because they shall not be lacking. They are even able to enjoy the independence.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has today met and held discussions with a delegation from the East African Community Secretariat led by the Secretary General, Honorable Dr. Peter Mathuki, at State House Entebbe. During the meeting, President Museveni lauded the fallen Pan-Africanists such as the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, former President of Tanzania, and the late Kwame Nkrumah, former President of Ghana, for fostering the formation and growth of the East African community. He noted that it was because of the commitment of these Pan-African heroes that the dream to form EAC was realized. Dr. Mathuki thanked President Museveni for his immense contribution towards the continuous growth and expansion of the EAC.
The puppets, like Njonjo, who were for Europeans, who sabotaged our... we didn't even have formed the federation.
Yeah, long time, yeah. He was very anti-integration.
But it was that Njonjo man who convinced Kenyatta, and Kenyatta pulled out. And then we had our own Obote here playing games.
Now, the Vice President Jessica Lupo has warned PDM technical officers for dictating to beneficiaries of the PDM funds on which banks they should open their accounts with. Lupo told the PDM extension officers to leave beneficiaries with the liberty to choose the banks to transact with in regards to the PDM disbursement of funds. Vice President Lupo made the remarks during the inspection and assessment of Emyoga and PDM beneficiaries projects in Katakwi district. Let's take a look.
During meetings held in Kataku district to ascertain the performance of Emyoga and PDM, the Office of the Vice President and the Minister of Microfinance established that some beneficiaries of the two programs are being directed to use one banking institution, contrary to the guidelines of the programs.
When we were in Kapujan, when we were in Maniam, here we have not had the beneficiaries of Emyoga and even PDM clearly stated that they were instructed to open accounts on one financial institution, which was wrong. And because of that, we agreed as a team that that financial institution should be investigated alongside the Uganda Microfinance Support Center.
The State Minister for Microfinance Institution, Haruna Kasoro, revealed that beneficiaries that took money under Emyoga should return the money as soon as possible for the SACCO members.
This is your money. Why do you cheat yourselves? This is your money. It is not for government. You are 100 people in a SACCO. It is only 30 that have benefited. What about the 70? I don't want that money so that I take it to government. No. I want that money to come back to your SACCOs so that other members within the SACCO can also benefit.
However, Vice President Alupo appealed to technocrats from the Minister of Local Government to put emphasis on sensitizing beneficiaries from the two programs to make them a success.
We should sensitize all the parish chiefs. I'm glad that the commissioner here is around, in charge of administration and finance and Ministry of Local Government. Take advantage of that digi-track of Hawaii to train all the parish chiefs of this district in ICT skills, including those who are very competent, because there is something that they will also learn.
Meanwhile, Minister Kasoro advised the beneficiaries to be focused on how best they can use the money to transform their lives.
Don't wait to start big business. Even if it is small, start immediately. It will keep on expanding. If you want to create wealth, make sure you have a business that gives you money every day. Whether you are selling eggs, you are selling maize, you are selling roasted maize, you are selling chapato, but so long as you're earning some money every day, you will get there.
And the Prime Minister, Rhoda Ngonzi, has commissioned 3 health centres and a laboratory worth 2.6 billion shillings in Kakumiro district. The facilities were funded by the Government of Uganda through the Uganda Intergovernmental Fiscal Transfers Program that was established in 2017, aimed at improving the adequacy and equity of fiscal transfers and improve fiscal management of resources by local governments for health and education services at the local levels.
Presiding over the commissioning of Chikwaya Health Centre 3, Ngonzi asked all expectant mothers to use the commissioned health centres and shun traditional birth attendants. Fred Byamkama, the Minister of State in charge of Transport and also Area Member of Parliament, Buganga East West, lauded the government for constructing such a modern facility. Ngonzi also commissioned Chitaihuka Health Centre 3 that she had earlier declined to commission due to delayed work. But what do residents of Kitaihuka sub-county say about the commissioned Health Centre 3?
Abachara abinenda abaja mukatzo kunyembazi zokonda bafumu batweme bazi abishemwe okashanga omuchara yafa agenda ayino mushijo atabase kujanja bisa abashawumba babijire mu bakozese babase kubakonyeraho ningashikubayambaho abana bitu bazagweje. The
Prime Minister, however, instructed the contractors to rectify some of the identified defects before being paid the retention money.
These things are put right. atasasula esente bangamira China yo sente zinga 88 million. When I will not sasula when you kupakula. Bintu byona bisoke kali jagaruka. Don't pay him before I come back to check.
The program is a countrywide intervention by the government designed to support the ministries of education and sports and health to improve service delivery at the local government through construction of public secondary schools and health centres in each sub-county.
Now, the Uganda Human Rights Commission is entangled in a web of uncertainty as it addresses the alleged disappearance of National Unity Platform members, a revelation made by the chairperson, Mariam Wangadia. The dilemma follows a report carried out by Uganda Human Rights Commission on alleged torture and detention of National Unity Platform members. Wangadia was reading a report to journalists in Kampala following a call by NUP Secretary General to carry out investigations into the matter.
The missing numbers of persons as identified by the Commission were majorly in 2021. This formed the basis for the Secretary General of National Unity Platform, Lewis Rubongoya, to petition Uganda Human Rights Commission to carry out investigations on why the alleged persons were arrested. Investigations hit a snag, with implicated individuals refusing to cooperate, casting doubt on the existence of these missing persons.
Complaint questionable. It is important to note that NUP has previously reported complaints to this commission of alleged torture of its supporters. However, they said supporters have either not been cooperative by providing evidence to corroborate their allegations, as was the case of one Alexandros Marinos, who they alleged had been raped by UPDF soldiers because they found her listening to music, the music of Honorable Robert Chagulanyi.
Addressing journalists in Kampala, the chairperson expressed the Commission's skepticism, emphasizing the absence of national identification numbers for the purported victims.
We call upon the Human Rights Committee of Parliament to make their report on the alleged missing NUP supporters public. You all saw that the Human Rights Committee of Parliament opened an investigation into alleged torture and abduction and disappearance of NUP supporters. So many institutions were summoned, including the Ministers of Defense, Internal Affairs, all heads of security agencies, the Uganda Human Rights Commission, and others.
Despite calls for urgency from the Human Rights Commission, progress was hampered by the unwillingness of some to speak out.
You members of the Fourth Estate and the people of Uganda, to understand why somebody whose husband or son was abducted and is missing does not want to talk to somebody who wants to give them help.
Wangadia acknowledged this reluctance, prompting the Commission to leave conclusions to the public. The Commission has put forward recommendations.
Over 10,000 former residents of River Kagera Benson have dragged Uganda and Tanzania governments to the East African Court of Justice for failing to resettle them in a dignified manner and to compensate them for their destroyed property. The petitioners, who are now residing in refugee camps of Chaka and Chibale, through their legal team led by Mwesi Gwarukutana, say they were illegally evicted following the board conflicts between Uganda and Tanzania in 2000.
On the behalf of over 10,000 petitioners, Yosefu Kalugaba, Abdul Chigongo, Apollo Nyegere, and Batwiremu Elifaz filed a petition against Uganda and Tanzanian government in the East African Court of Justice. They claim to have remained displaced for over 23 years, without homes, livelihoods, heritage or property. This followed the 2000 border conflicts between Uganda and Tanzania, when the Tanzanian government, under the leadership of the former Tanzanian president, Jakaya Kikwete, gave a directive to expel them, alleging that they were refugees from Uganda, Congo, Rwanda and Burundi.
Now, what is so bad is that those people who are living at the border, they are living on the side of Uganda, but that area is raised. They are living in hilly places. Then they go down to have access on water. What these Tanzanians are doing, they send soldiers there and intercept their animals. And the charge that they put upon the animals too is really worse. Because one cow can be charged 150 Tanzanian shilling, and it is not even receipted. They cannot give it a receipt.
The group, through their legal team led by Mwesigwa Lukutana, alleged that they were illegally evicted from their settlements when Tanzania surveyed its borders and encroached part of River Kagera, finding their way in Uganda.
The actions of the two governments contravene the provisions of the treaty for the establishment of the East African Treaty. The two governments neglected to implement the orders of the Sovereign Republic of Uganda and Tanzania through their respective heads of states, compelling both countries to constitute joint verification committees aimed at settling, compensating, and further addressing the rights of the expelled persons.
The petitioners stated 15 grounds in court.
They seek an order for damages and all mandamus to compel the governments of Uganda to protect and or recompense the expelled persons.
So we have been trying to negotiate. We have gone through both governments to make sure that they can understand our cause.
They constituted what they call a joint verification committee. Of course, these people were hopeful that the committee would do its work, but the committee just kept quiet, apart from correspondences from the heads of state.
They alleged that Chikwete's directives leading to their eviction was inhuman, that saw Tanzanian joint security forces raiding their cattle and destroying their property. The petitioners are now residing in refugee camps of Chaka and Kibale in Uganda. Meanwhile, the Anti-Corruption Court, before Judge Margaret Tebulia, has set 17th October 2023 to resume with the hearing of the case, where the former Nagric boss Dr. Charles Lago, Wakulira Mathias and now Kenya are facing charges of corruption, abuse of office, and causing loss of $4.5 billion to the government. Prosecution alleges that Dr. Charles Lago, together with other co-accused, in September 2019 at Nagric offices in Entebbe, in abuse of their offices, signed and witnessed over $1.3 billion contract between Nagric and Kibubu Agro Suppliers Limited for supply and delivery of animal semens without clearance from the Solicitor General. Prosecution is represented by Aliango Stephen and Mugamba David, senior state attorneys, and the accuser represented by Batenda Gerard, together with other lawyers. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugode, UBC News.
And a section of members of the opposition in Parliament has questioned the legal procedure used by Uganda Police Force to stop political party activities. The members walked out of the Tuesday session in protest of the continuous disruption of various activities by security, seeking explanation from the Line Ministry. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayabwa criticized the move by the members led by Butambala County MP Mwanga Chivumbi.
Police and other sister security agencies on Monday this week foiled plans by the members of the National Unity Platform to hold prayers for their supporters, including the deceased, missing and those on detention. The dirty scene witnessed a handful amount of arrests, including NUP spokesperson Joel Senyonyi and the party's Secretary General, Lewis Rubongoya. The party leader, Robert Chagulanyi, who later addressed the press from his Magere home in Wakiso district, condemned the arrests.
For now, we won't substantially address the nation because now we are running up and down trying to secure freedom for our comrades.
On Tuesday, the Butambala County Member of Parliament Mwanga Chivumbi brought the matter to the attention of the August House, seeking explanation from the Minister of Internal Affairs.
It's becoming increasingly difficult for us, Honorable Speaker, to sit in this House with the due respect to the decorum that is required to this House, when outside there, the behavior, the mentality, the abuse of the rights, every member of Parliament is on oath to protect, uphold, and defend the Constitution.
Chivumbi draws confidence from the Constitutional Court pronouncement, which annulled some sections of the Police Act and disqualified the Public Order Management Act, reducing powers of the police from prohibiting assemblies.
When we had challenges with the Police Act, Section 32, subsection E, and remember you and me by that time were in popular resistance, we felt a level of discomfort. We went to the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court overturned that provision as unconstitutional, giving powers of police to prohibit. So as we speak now, the police has no legal justification to stop any political party or any person from conducting business the way they want. This parliament, it's about 2 months ago. So even this parliament has made a pronouncement on that matter.
At this point, the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Tayebwa, was attentively waiting to guide the member who acted on behalf of the Leader of Opposition, requesting for time to allow the Line Minister to respond accordingly.
This is the level you reach on after even interacting with the presiding officer. You don't ambush the presiding officer that way on the floor, because you know how we usually do it. If you come to the presiding officer and you raise such issues, then I call the minister responsible and
MP Chivumbi then led some of the members of the opposition out of the House as they wait for the government response on the matter.
So those who are uncomfortable can move, and we have
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
A majority of mothers forced to marry at an early age are living in misery and regret as some go for days without food together with their children. Those who become victims of child marriages are now crying out for strict interventions to cap down the vice, especially in northern Uganda with the highest cases of child marriages in Kitgum.
Kitgum is one of the 7 districts in Acholi sub-region in northern Uganda. With a total population of over 200,000, Kitgum is listed among the northern districts with the highest cases of teenage pregnancy.
When a girl gets pregnant, they want you to go to your husband's home. So that the determinant factor mostly is the pregnancy, which brings about child marriage in our culture.
Child marriage is also highest in northern Uganda, estimated at 59%, followed by eastern region at 58%, western at 52%, while south and central, including Kampala, lie below 50%.
People want to be with money on them. So you see a girl like this, you will think of money.
Through this narrow windy road, we were led to Laik West, Laboamida Sub-County, Kitgum District, where Patricia, not her real name, was handed over for marriage at 17 years. When her first child passed on, she returned home, but her parents brought her back and collected 200 shillings as fine. Patricia and her husband are struggling and sometimes go for days without food.
We have an interaction with you.
Harriet is another survivor who was forced in marriage as a teenager by her parents.
It was a horrible story. I just felt like hanging myself, so I just said no, I cannot kill myself. But right now I have 2 kids. One is 7 years old, another one is 4 years old.
Her attempts through the local leaders did not yield any fruit.
When you report those issues to them, they will demand some little money to pay, and when you're not having the money, they will not look into your matters seriously.
It is not charging, it is part of the operation of what you are doing. executing your activity at that particular time. The cultural leaders came with a pronouncement. Below 18, the cultural leaders does not sign that paper. The gaps, as I told you, we don't have implementing organs. Sometimes they eat away from the cultural leaders.
Leaders say this continue to grow due to rampant poverty, bad cultural practices, lack of information, and negative gender norms, among others.
Even this year, our candidate who should have registered was eloped, and the parents did nothing. I was told there is a man who ran with her to Kampala.
Some of the boys around, they just came and took them away as their wife. And parents did not even report that case to us.
Well, if you're 14, you're pregnant, go to your husband. They take you, and it's very high because teenage pregnancy has become too rampant. You know, we have a lot of cases. So the fuel which they give at times, it gets over when we have not even finished other issues.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development acknowledges significant strides by government but decries limited funding in programming around child protection.
We have done one-on-ones with MPs, held high-level sessions with them to bring it to their notice on the need for funding social development programs. But we understand that, you know, the budget can't be enough to cater for everything that we propose.
Mugabe implored citizens to make use of the toll-free self-help line instituted by the ministry to report any form of child-related abuses.
As stakeholders, as CSOs, we need to work closely with government to ensure the implementation of these policies and closely monitor.
Child marriages threaten girls' lives, health and future. Victims and survivors see no hope returning to school, but hope for vocational trainings to secure their livelihoods. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Sent to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bioresearch Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road, and Jumia, Uganda. Or call 0703-152-152 for deliveries. Remember, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius himself.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository SCD account. Dial *185*85# from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Welcome back. Hundreds of students are forced to drop out of the university annually due to tuition-related challenges. One of such students is Hannington Mugeni, who was taking a Bachelor's of Science in Biochemistry but did not complete 2 semesters of one academic year of his 3-year course. Hannington now works as a chapati baker in Makerere Chikoni, a suburb neighboring Makerere University.
Hundreds of students annually drop out of the university due to tuition-related challenges. One of such cases is Hannington Mugeni, who was doing a Bachelor's of Science in Biochemistry at Makerere University. Mugeni was forced to drop out of his final year with just 2 semesters to complete his education.
I was pursuing a bachelor's degree in biochemistry at Makerere University College of Natural Sciences, majoring in biochemistry. I started my first year, second year. I even did my internship. I did my internship from DIGAL. That's Directorate of Government Analytical Laboratory. That's where I did my internship from. That's normally, it was second year, last semester. That's second semester of the second year. Now joining the third year, first semester, I went few days. Actually, it was 1 week. And I remember we were heading, after 1 week, 2 weeks, we moved on. Then I realized I couldn't raise money for tuition due to the COVID pandemic.
Hannington now operates this chapati kiosk where he is employed to sustain his living after his uncle failed to raise tuition to complete his studies.
Currently, I'm working here. I make chapati for the survival. Reason being that I've been to campus. I was there, but then I had some issues with the tuition. I had a financial issue. I never had money to complete with my university studies.
The 26-year-old is the only sibling amongst his peers who managed to reach the university, with his parents having too much hopes in him. The dream that now lies in a limbo, the dream that perhaps one would call a shattered dream.
And in fact, in my family, I'm the only son of my dad who went up to the university. The rest of my brothers, one stopped in P7, one stopped in Senior 2. So they all had a lot of hopes in me, but because they are financially unstable, they had nothing to do. Yeah. So right time reached and they were like, I wish we had money, we would have finished up, at least we'd be somewhere, we'd be helping us in such a situation.
Adjusting to this new environment and his new job has also come with challenges, with many of his OGs and OBs questioning him of what might have happened.
Sometimes I keep myself with hope that with one time, I'll not be in this for the rest of my life. Time reached, maybe if I get money, I'll go back and I'll resume my studies. And for that reason, I was looking every corner where I can be able to get such money, and I couldn't see.
Hannington now is asking for any well-wishers to come to his rescue.
Sometimes I keep myself with hope that with one time, I'll not be in this for the rest of my life. Time reached, maybe if I get money, I'll go back and I'll resume my studies.
To help facilitate such students, Makerere University has passed a Students' Work Employment Scheme, where students can work for the university in exchange for tuition, as the Makerere University Academic Registrar states.
I know that the university currently, management has passed what we call the employment scheme, okay? Student work scheme. It is an employment scheme, compensation scheme, where a student will be given, students that are economically disadvantaged can request, and make an application, okay, to the Dean of Students, who will really verify, and once the verification proves that the student is unable, they will be given community service, they could be given work, a compensation scheme, they will be given activities to do, such that that one then is monetized, is put into money form, and that money will be used as what? As fees.
Hannington's story is just but a representation of hundreds of students who dropped out of the university due to tuition-related challenges. For Hannington Mugeni, internal brokenness and mental scars are a tripling factor for the serenity of life, the agony that can only be felt from inside. Hannington's move is a clear illustration that when the beat changes, you must change the down steps, a step that he has taken to face the harsh new realities of life. Sada Mubale, UBC News, here at Makere Chikoni in Kampala.
And Ugandans in South Africa have convened at the Uganda's High Commission in Pretoria to celebrate the 61st independence anniversary. Speaking at the celebration, Uganda's ambassador to South Africa, Paul Amoro, told the congregation that at the moment there is no meaningful achievements on matters of climate change and security at the world stage unless Africa defines its position at the international level to make decisions.
Speaking at the celebrations of Uganda's 61st independence anniversary in Pretoria, South Africa, Ugandans living in South Africa recognized those who played a significant role in the attainment of Uganda's independence on October 9th, 1962.
Anniversary to all Ugandans in the diaspora, specifically in Southern Africa, and to our government back home. The first independence anniversary is a remarkable one for where we've come from as a country in terms of people-to-people relations. For instance, when we got independence, South Africa was not liberated. So as a Pan-Africanist, as one of the core values of the NRM government, we believe that we are here to celebrate this independence anniversary on a liberated African soil.
We cherish the peace that we have as Ugandans that creates a wonderful atmosphere for us as Ugandans to be among the top global entrepreneurs in the world.
Culture of caring, warmth and hospitality that you'll never find anywhere else in the world. I celebrate this day. I'm honored to be a Ugandan, and I thank God for our nation of Uganda.
Let's unite and let's be one Uganda in the diaspora.
Uganda's High Commissioner to South Africa, Paul Amoro, revealed that attaining independence in 1962 was the beginning of economic emancipation of Ugandans, despite the challenges the country underwent shortly after independence. Amoro also assured the Ugandan community living in South Africa of good bilateral relations between South Africa and Uganda that have started attracting investments from both countries.
To send congratulations to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda and the people of Uganda on this milestone, and we believe that this day reminds us of our continued commitment. Also looking at free movements of our people to ensure that Ugandans and South Africans can now travel without hindrance from visa restrictions, and above all working closely with the trade representatives that the President was able to identify and the private sector foundation in Uganda.
Common love for our continent and Africa. And in that, you can see I'm wearing this lovely brochure here. It's got the Ankole on it and the South African flag and the Ugandan flag.
Report compiled by Wycliffe Mudach for UBC News.
Meanwhile, 83-year-old Jorina Okello was present at Kololo Airstrip, Independence Grounds, on October 9th, 1962, when Uganda attained its independence. Jorina's memories are still fresh on what exactly happened that day when the new nation was born. Jorina is currently living in Kapedopong, one of the city suburbs in Kulu. Our reporter Stephen Okello spoke with her on what happened and filed this report.
According to Mego Jorina, aged 83 years, the push for independence had several factors. Among them was to put to an end the oppressions that the colonial masters had exhibited over Ugandans before independence.
En berro nene, a chulti ka nene chando twal, wanda wa mer lo chan. Muni pe wa mer gidong. Munu ao.
Northern Uganda was a food basket to millet and other food items. However, the colonists issued decree to stop the people from growing their traditional food crops to cash crops, and that had been established by them like cotton and coffee. The land in the north was not conducive to the cash crops introduced by the colonial masters. This caused hunger in community, and many resorted to feeding on wild plants for survival.
Kai fur bel kia kai belo. Due ma bong wen ne. Nyam par dong bien no te beli gangkan. Te beli gangkan. Mar ber pel no loy. Me der ke. O due ma big. Ke je boy dana. Kun beli le ter ma ramo gutia rio. Gutia che. Idu ko dong ke baba che. Pero ram ma achikari. Jego Karan gu chang belo le weng.
Mego says the colonial government had no focus on developing families, but were much more interested on using the population to serve their interest. The strong men were forcefully recruited into road construction. This, in one way, affected some families, since the breadwinner would be away for many months and years, leaving families starving.
Kibir kirana. Ao, yata ger guru. Yata tikpita. Pama ke pero, ngaradong doi pe. Yim karato ne, ngaradong pur pe. Dako dong pero mo dono pama tiako. Dako dong perero lume pur yim. Yim berpe. Tueri tiyo kuya.
Mego also recount the brutality involved in the tax collection exercise. The tax collectors who worked on behalf of the colonial masters brutally assaulted fellow black.
E muchoro. Mukana ronga chini pege bien tui. E pege.
The brutality was turned into a song as victims were using arts to express some of the horrific experience they had while in prisons.
Do ti chak me wero do. Mai pira ke dong wa chunya. Pira ke dong wa chunya pira ke wa mar pi pege ko tere pege ko pa di ta da. Pira ke dong wa chunya pege. Pira ke dong chunya pira ke wa mar pi pege ko tere pege ko pa di ta da. Man tweri do tui mer pege.
According to Jirena, freedom for Ugandans was in the manifesto of Dr. Milton Obote when he established the Uganda People Congress in 1960s, emerging out of disagreement with the Uganda National Congress of Ignatius Musasi.
Mirodong, kay tingom, de titit matek. Dok miro, bibira baliciente.
Mego revealed that the prevailing conditions of the time made young and old Ugandans to yearn for independence.
Idong, ko madong iyabo, eno bora do wati. Ko pegi gang. Pien eni kwano, igulwa ikanye. Mena yo chule ki tiene ko. Weko dano do kero te to ko. Weko lo tiro wel do lo mer. Then
Mego Jirena participated in voting for the independence of Uganda in 1962. She shared her memories of the joy they had after the results were announced in 1962 after Lancaster House Conference in favor of Ugandan independence.
Chilo falundong do. Chilo gendo. Fa work do. Chilo fa work do. Kuidong.
After independence, life was easy despite the political turmoil that befell the country. According to Gillian, education was not that costly, as school fees were paid once a year, and parents were only charged with the responsibility to buy school uniform.
Uniform, come la ten. Book in pay willow, no chukul. Kalam in pay willow, no chukul. Jena ini tiamo chulo fiji, chulo pe mwakachiel kulo.
Medical service were also free, and food was provided to patients by the government in the hospital at no cost.
Oriat pay chulo, pay kwanya kitchen mo. Ini chere oriat. Me, the book me no, pay willa.
However, things started falling apart in 1971 after President Idi Amin toppled the UPC government under Dr. Milton Obote in a military coup. This was later followed by the explosion of the Asians in 1974. This marked the beginning of the struggling economy and failed post-independent Ugandans. Stephen Okello for UBC Television.
And the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, has entered a partnership with Universal Multipurpose Enterprises to spearhead a cleaning drive around the country under the theme Cleaning the Path to Affordable Living, one step at a time.
Cleaning drive was championed at Chiraka Farmers Market, where officials from the National Environmental Management Authority and Universal Multipurpose Enterprises led the drive to a clean environment. According to NEMA, the drive is intended to amplify the essence of environmental protection, which proper sanitation is envisaged to be crucial to food markets.
Environment is life. Without environment which is protected, which is clean, we do not have better life. So we are here to work with the community of Chiraka Farmers Market to ensure that the place is clean. And you know very well that this is an area where people sell food. It is very important that as people sell food, the food that is sold to the community must be clean.
NEMA holds the view that maintaining clean cities will attract more tourists, who in return bring in foreign revenue earnings.
And if we do not have clean cities, then there is no way we can attract more tourists, more clients who can come and buy. So we are sending a message to the entire country that we need to strategize, have a clean environment so that we can attract more tourists, we can have better health for Ugandans, and then it is something that we shall also send to the new generation for sustainable development.
Apart from preventing disease, clean markets steer development for their easy accessibility.
A clean, healthy environment encourages buyers to buy in the specific places that we have picked, in the specific locations that we are located. So, for instance, a clean Chiraka market is going to encourage clients to buy in Chiraka because they know the environment is clean, healthy, and they are able to come, buy, purchase food.
Even our clients that are buying our projects, even them whom some are prospective clients, they would feel comfortable when they are walking here to buy food, to do anything that they would want to transact within the market that is within their locality.
The chairman, Chiraka Farmers Market, Magumba Robert, portioned the blame of poor hygiene in the markets to individuals who vandalized the drainage system. Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Jinja Central Market twidi wano okubanga twedusa abantu okuwaayo kumbaga ya mwenemu nga bakozesa momope kati je Jinja Central Market sobola okubanga tuwayana abatyambye momope neri kwogeza abantu obwama
tamu ndalo otemu mukaga otemu itano otemu sita onige isatu onige ash onige yes aye nga tuwayo tikashi nga tuwayo nga tubita ku momope enkola ya MTN miga 70
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Molt Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
The doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you.
This cat thief again.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat. And ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Now, Uganda International Trade Fair 2023 has officially closed today, with over 10 sectors driving Uganda's economy participating in the exhibition. State Minister for Trade Harriet Ntabazi promised manufacturing industries that discussions are ongoing to have the cheapest power to spur economic development.
Then there is the protective domestic taxes and the levies, such as the excise duty and the import levies. The ever-evolving non-tariff barriers and the free ESC Secretariat that is not always able to call its members to order when they flatter or when they abuse the protocols.
The government has released the money concurrently in the energy sector to make sure that every industrial park, if you are suffering with electricity, then you are not manufacturing from the industrial park. And in those areas, we need to know them so that we supply them electricity at a very minimum cost. Now, Uganda is going to start producing heavily because of these Isimba and all other generating power projects. We are going to have the cheapest power possible. So your work is to put yourselves together, put your factory together, so that now we can supply them 3 phases, how many phases, so that you minimize losses in the factory. We've put in place the hubs. After you produce, where do you collect your products from? The free zones. The government has given us more land. The president gave us recently a lot of land in Kaweta to put our free zones on top of the ones in Entebbe. So that when you produce, and you want to package properly, you take in a free zone, you package and organize your work. So that when you are going to the markets, you are well organized. So we are looking at things, we are no longer looking at jokes. We are looking at producers who are perfectly looking at international markets. The market of Uganda is fine, the East African market is fine, but we've opened up other markets that need proper planning and proper organization.
And on sports, Bulemezi FC Vice Chairperson Sam Buchanan has praised the unity of purpose and commitment by Bulemezi FC managers and players, which saw the club triumph over Mawokota FC with 4-2 penalty goals with a penalty to spare. The two teams played out a cautious but very competitive second leg semi-final game at Kasana Playground in Bulemezi County, Luwero District on Independence Day, which ended in a goalless draw. The first leg, which was held in Mawokota County 10 days earlier, has ended in a hard-fought 1-1 draw by both teams.
Bulemezi FC Vice Chairman Sam Buchanan reveals that they will now work on rectifying a few bottlenecks to win the Buganda Masaza Cup trophy, which was their key mission since the beginning of this year's tournament. Bulemezi FC coach Ali Chigundu says sticking on their game plan paid dividends. Ali Chigundu reveals that his experience as a goalkeeper coach came in handy during the penalty shootouts, where Bulemezi FC goalkeeper Bagenda Abdul saved 2 penalties.
Coach wabala batendesi bakabi batu wadde ekyokukola kokikiirya kokinkata kokimukasa babaddewo nnyo.
Bulemezi FC captain Senkungu Peter says that his team had a better management and coaching staff around them.
Omupiira tugezezaako okusamba ekisoboka naye Katonda bw'atyo bw'ageze wano siwe twali tusuubira okukoma kuba twali tulina ekigendera kya kutwala kikopo naye ate era ffe nga ffe abamu twemulugunya ku refu engeri gya conductinzemu game.
Okota FC PRO Solomon Mwanja says that they are now going to prepare for the third playoff with Perino favourites Budu FC. Bulemezi FC is seeking a third trophy after winning the Buganda Masaza Cup in 2012 and 2019 respectively, while Gomba FC, their opponents in the final, slated to be played on 28th October 2023, have lifted the trophy a record 5 times. Gomba booked their slot in the finals after comprehensively beating Budu FC home and away with 2-1 and 1-0 score lines respectively.
Well, and that does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. Elizabeth Nakokuni on Sign Language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have a lovely night.
Well, hello there. Good evening and welcome to the weather report tonight. My name is Maureen Kenyana. Now, we did see mostly sunny intervals for much of today across several places. At the same time, we also had some rains, especially across the islands of Lake Victoria in the morning, and in the afternoon we saw several places also developing wet weather activities. But looking at the satellites, we do have those moist southeasterly winds that are still coming in from the Indian Ocean towards the country. At the same time, we do expect that there will be enhancement from the Congo area towards the country, and that is likely to bring us rains, especially for the western sector. And also what we did see today as well was a result of that system. Now, tomorrow morning, we do expect to start off with rains that will be across the Lake Victoria Basin as well as parts of central Nakasongola is expected to start off with sunny intervals. Across the western part of the country, we'll have mostly cloudy conditions with rains expected as well. Looking at the eastern sector, we do expect to start off with rains over that area. And across the northern part of the country, we'll see approach sunshine that will be blending in with clouds across several places. However, also looking at the afternoon, we will expect those rains to pick up across parts of central as well as much of Nakasongola. Temperatures will be around 29. We do expect Kampala as well to be at 29 degrees. Across the western part of the country, we do expect those rains to continue across the area. Quite a warm day is expected. Forecast says the temperatures will be going up to 31, and much of the western as well will have the lower 30s. Now, across the western part of the country, that is the eastern part, rather, we do expect to have those rains again. Soroti will be going up to 31 degrees. And for the northern part of the country, we do expect to have wet weather activities. Looking at the Karamoja region, Moroto, Kotido will be at 31, and much of it also expected in the lower 30s. For the areas that we have outside of Uganda, we're expecting rains across London. We do forecast sunny conditions that will be for Dubai as well as Cairo. Quite some warm weather expected across Dubai. Temperatures will be going up to 38 degrees. That does it for the weather report tonight. My name is Molin Kenyina. I want to wish you a good night.